Right, the top story now. The ANC says heads must roll where there's been wrongdoing at VBS Mutual Bank.
Some senior party officials from Limpopo province have been implicated in a damning forensic report.
Almost 2 billion rand was looted from the now collapsed bank.
The author of the report says the bank can't be saved and is corrupt and rotten to the core.
The kingpin or commission agent named is the provincial treasurer of the ANC in Limpopo. That's Danny Msiza.
Another senior ANC provincial official and Vambe mayor is just one of those who allegedly took bribes.
Well, the EFF says those who've looted VBS Bank must be criminally prosecuted.
But it hasn't commented directly on Floyd Shivambu's brother Brian, who allegedly received 16 million rand from VBS.
Well, the Public Investment Corporation has fired 2 employees mentioned in that report and will lay criminal charges against them.
Now, speaking to Newsnight's Kathy Mutlatlana, ANC spokesperson Pulemabe said they'll only take action once investigations into those who've been named in this report are concluded.
It is important that such details are studied and are understood. Individuals who are so mentioned are given an opportunity as well themselves to be able to put forward the facts. The report has been, you will know, the role of the Prudential Authority. The CEO, the Deputy Governor of the Reserve Bank is the CEO of the Prudential Authority. A report that has been commissioned and developed by 2 legal entities would now have to serve before the Prudential Authority.
Of course.
We would expect that when whatever action is to be taken, there would, of course, have to be engagements to understand the veracity of these implications. And that's why, in our own statement, we said that where there is clear acts of misconduct, it should roll.
Do you think that those of your officials that are currently serving in municipalities need to be either suspended or fired while the party takes whatever action you intend on taking, although it doesn't sound like you're going to be taking action, you're leaving it to the authorities that are investigating?
Well, I can tell you now that should it come to the attention of the party that there are those from the organization who are involved clearly in acts of
But the report states as much, Mr. Mabe. The report is clear about that.
Well, the lead forensic investigator into VBS Mutual Bank says those implicated in the report should be held accountable and criminally charged.
The recommendations and the findings are submitted to the Reserve Bank, which will apply its mind and decide whether it accepts the recommendations and the findings either in whole or in part. And if they do accept them, they will then recommend or pass those recommendations on to the law enforcement officers, who will also follow the same process. And we hope with the amount of investigation that has gone there, the integrity of the evidence that has been secured, this will make a job easier for the National Prosecuting Authority to effect some arrests and to prosecute people.
Well, Mudau says he's hopeful the findings will lead to arrests.
You would have noted from the report that at the very commencement, I mentioned the fact that contrary to one of the heists where no arrests were made, one hopes that there will be arrests that are made in this one. And that is there for a reason, because we hope, in terms of the process, you would know the recommendations and the findings are submitted to the Reserve Bank, which will apply its mind and decide whether it accepts the recommendations and the findings either in whole or in part. And if they do accept them, they will then recommend or pass those recommendations on to the law enforcement officers, who will also follow the same process. And we hope with the amount of investigation that has gone there, the integrity of the evidence that has been secured, this will make a job easier for the National Prosecuting Authority to effect some arrests and to prosecute people.
Interview with ANC anchor Shahan Ramkisoon on NewsHour. Matao says it's unclear where the millions that went to Brian Shivambu were channeled.
Brian Shivambu, the brother of EFF Deputy President Floyd Shivambu. You say he received 16 million rand from VBS Mutual Bank. Can you tell us where that money went? Do you know for a fact where it went or not?
No, I must say that firstly, the purpose of listing entities and individuals that benefited was in the context of showing the extent of what we say is the looting of the bank, and we list individuals and entities, as I said, together with the amounts that they received. What we didn't do at this stage, or at least in terms of the terms of reference, was to follow the flow of funds, let's say from VBS to the entities and from the entities and how it was distributed. What was done is a desktop exercise by the forensic experts who were trying to illustrate whether is there a link between money that came in and money that went out, and second to that, who are the beneficiaries that received these monies, which we've described in the report as gratuitous payments.
So there's no reason listed as to why he was paid 16 million rand?
Except for that being a gratuitous payment, no.
No.
And that is why it is important for the law enforcement officers, and I hope, as stipulated in the report, or rather as expressed in the report, that action will be taken